we have molecular formula. We learned about empirical formula the other day. That was figuring out what the lowest whole number ratio is for the molecules. This is to figure out, is the empirical formula the actual structure for the molecule, or is it some kind of multiple of it? So, for example, let's compare two things. So the number of atoms of each type of element in a compound and the total number of atoms in a molecule, that's your empirical and molecular formula. So check this out. This is what actually exists. This is the molecular formula. All right? If you were to simplify this down, you would just get H and O. This would be the empirical formula. All right? Empirical formula is the simplest form. Molecular formula is what it actually exists. So this is hydrogen peroxide, all right? And that's H2O2, which is very different from just being one H and one O, all right? All right, so let's check this out. It says calculate the molecular formula of a compound whose molar mass is 60 grams per mole, and the empirical formula is CH4N, all right? First step, you need to know the molecular mass of the empirical formula, all right? Which means this CH4N. So what's its molecular mass? We look at the periodic table and we figure it out. So carbon is 12.01. Each hydrogen is 1.01, and there's 4 of them. So it'll be 4.04. And then nitrogen is 14.01. All right? So we add these up and we get our answer, which is 30.06. grams per mole. Okay, so that's step 1, is just figure out molecular mass of it. Step 2 is going to be a division, because they said it's actually 60.0 grams per mole in the problem. When we figured this out, it's only 30.06 grams per mole. So we just divide them to see, all right, how many times do we have to multiply our empirical formula to get our molecular formula? So this gives us about 2. And this has to be a whole number. So if it's not exact, just round it, all right? If it's really off, then that means you might have done the first part wrong, okay? But it should give you close to a whole number for this, all right? And then step 3 is distribute whatever you got from this into your empirical formula. So for this one, instead of it being 1 carbon, once you distribute it, you'll get C2, H8, N2. All right, and that's going to be your molecular formula. The kicker is you need an empirical formula first to do the molecular formula. So a lot of the problems are going to have you first calculate empirical formula and then calculate the molecular formula. So these are usually grouped together. Okay, are there any questions with what we just did?